Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. This is your news report, second stimulus check update, and second stimulus package update. According to CNBC, some states started paying out the $300 unemployment boost, while others lag. States such as Arizona, California, New York, Rhode Island, and Tennessee are among the first states to begin paying a $300 weekly boost to unemployment benefits. The $300 enhancement was offered by the $900 billion stimulus relief package signed into law by Trump on December 27th. In Georgia, Democrats vowed to pass $2,000 stimulus checks. Everybody tell me in the comments down below, who do you want to see win the Georgia runoff races? The Democrats or the Republicans? Leave your comments in the comments down below, everybody. And first, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes if you support a third stimulus check of $2,000.
Good evening. We had what I would call a consequential meeting. It was one where we could see the difference in values that we bring to the table. We have always said that the Republicans and the president do not understand the gravity of the situation, and every time we meet with them, it is reinforced. We want to reach an agreement for the American people, for our children and their education, for everyone and their health care, for our workers, for our economy. It's so clear that we should do something, and we should do something big, and we should do it in a way that is bipartisan, as we have done every other bill. I couldn't help but thinking when we were at the table.
Now, according to CNBC News, workers in Arizona, California, New York, and Rhode Island, just to name a few, will receive the first batch of enhanced payments this week. That's according to the state labor agencies. California and New York are the number 1 and number 2 states, respectively, relative to the number of workers receiving jobless benefits.
That what they were offering us was Sophie's choice. Not enough money for food, nothing for housing in terms of rentals. A moratorium, that's nice, but it's not money for rent. It isn't not enough money for money in the pockets of the American people who really need this, who through no fault of their own are out of work. And certainly just...
Connecticut and Washington State aim to disperse the supplement beginning in mid-January. The $300 a week increase in jobless benefits comes as part of a $900 billion relief package signed into law by Trump.
When they said a skinny proposal, it was anorexic, and it was not to meet the needs of the American people. What is a negotiation about? It's not about who gets more what in the halls of Congress. It's about what it translates into the lives of the American people.
Most other states have not yet offered concrete payment timelines as they work to implement new unemployment rules, including the relief law. Workers will be reimbursed for any gap resulting from delayed aid. Those provisions include 11 extra weeks of federally funded benefits for workers who exhausted their statement allotment of state aid, and to self-employed workers and other workers who do not qualify for state benefits. Workers in California were paid the $300 a week in supplemental benefits as early as Sunday, according to the State Employment Development Department.
And that's why I kept asking them, why won't you do this? Why won't you do this? Why won't you do this? But nonetheless, we've had some further exchange of paper to be clarified to see if we can find some further common ground. But we're very far apart. It's most unfortunate. I want to yield to the distinguished leader in the Senate, as I've said before, a former member of the House of Representatives. We welcome him back to our side of the Capitol.
Well, thank you.
However, the first tranche is only available to the 1.3 million Californians who are receiving regular state benefits or aid through the federal state extended duration program.
When first, we're very disappointed in the meeting, but we urge our Republican colleagues to come back and continue to negotiate. A few times it looked like they weren't going to do that, and we urge them to do it. And why? Because negotiation and a broad, comprehensive agreement is the best way to go. But their stance was disappointing. We asked them, would you meet us in the middle? And they said, no, it has to be mostly in our direction. They were unwilling to meet in the middle. They said it mostly has to be their way, and they admitted that. And that's what makes this so disappointing, because we believe we're covering the needs of the American people. And they said, well, the president may go ahead and do an executive order, a few executive orders, but even they admitted that that would leave out millions and millions of people. It would be, it would be the Sophie's choice. Which of your children do you take, and you leave a whole bunch behind?
Joe Biden said the Georgia runoff election will put an end to the block in Washington on a $2,000 stimulus check. Democrats Ossoff and Warnock are both running aggressively on a promise for $2,000 checks. At the rally, they sharpened the contrast by framing the race as a referendum on whether Congress passes a $15 minimum wage.
The American people is a broad, strong, bipartisan agreement.
I just would like to say that I saw something familiar in the room. You know, I've been in the White House when the president slammed the table and walked out. Well, that's really what Mr. Meadows did. Slam the table and walk out. And you're slamming the table on our children and their schools. We need to have substantial help for our schools. Everything tells us, authorities on the subject tell us that to have actual school, virtual school, or hybrid school cost approximately the same. And yet the president is insisting the money will go to the schools that are only open actually. So what does that say? What does it say to children with disabilities where we really need them to be getting as much care as possible so that if there is a situation where they can be taken care of, where they're saying, well, we don't you want to take care of private schools?
And for those of you that are on SSI or SSDI payments, the second round of stimulus checks are out for delivery, as long as you meet the requirements for another check. As long as you meet the requirements for another check, you can expect to receive yours via direct deposit or in the mail as an EIP card or paper check. When determining how much of the $600 payment you receive, the IRS and Treasury Department consider your age, tax filings, adjusted gross income, pension, Social Security benefits, SSI and SSDI, and whether you count as someone else's adult dependent. If you're over the age of 65 and a recipient of Supplemental Security Income or Social Security Disability Insurance, you were eligible for a first stimulus check and will also be eligible for a second check. That means if you're part of the SSI or SSDI program, you would qualify for a check just like you did in the first round, so long as you have a Social Security number and you are not claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. That's according to CNET.com. Also, your household income must not exceed the threshold of $75,000. With that being said, everybody, that is all the news in today's video. I hope you found this video useful. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. On this channel, I always provide you with the most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check information, SSI information, and SSDI information. And of course, the newest news on your unemployment benefits.